Wabash Carnegie Public Library oral history program, interviewing Howard Jones at the Wabash Carnegie Public Library, April 25th, 1973. Howdy, the first question I'm going to ask you is when and where you were born.
I was born on the south side of Wabash on Middle Street in August the 2nd, 1876.
And how old would you be today then?
I'd be 96.
96.
But the 2nd of August, I'll be 97.
97. And what was your father's name?
His name was William Preston Jones.
And what was your mother's maiden name?
Her name was, wait a minute, wait just a minute now. Her maiden name was Coble.
Coble.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I was trying to think of her first name.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. What did your father do for a living?
Well, he was furniture and undertaking business.
And where was it that you were born? And where was the house that you were born?
Well, that was on Middle Street. Wait a minute, not Middle Street. Damn it, I get mixed up there. It's the first street west of Pike Street, north and south. Now, whatever that is.
Okay, we can look that up and correct it when we type this up. Okay.
Right.
And did you stay on that side of town then and grow up there?
Till I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
Then we moved over here, and we lived right down here on the corner of not Maple, what's the other one, this side? Sinclair?
Sinclair.
All right. Right, we moved right there.
Corner of Sinclair and
Wabash.
And Wabash Street, yeah.
Then we lived there a few years, and then we went 1 block north and built that house.
And
that big house there.
Where would that be now, where Hipskind is now, where Walter Hipskind is?
No.
What's in the house now?
The house would be the corner of what did I say there a minute ago?
You said you were at the corner of Sinclair and Wabash, and then you went a block north.
Now, wait a minute. It'd be Walnut, I think.
Walnut Street. Yeah.
Walnut Street, and on that corner, there's a house that still is there.
Uh-huh.
And we built that house. My father did. Yes, sir.
Where did you go to grade school?
Well, different places. They divide the line here. Sometimes it's down here, sometimes eastward.
Yeah.
Varied.
In other words, they were switching kids around in those days?
Well, the line was there, and one reason or another they had to. Most of the time, I'd say it was down here. What is it?
Miami School?
Yeah.
You went to Miami School?
Yeah.
Do you remember who the teachers were, or the principal back in those days?
Well, wait a minute. Huh.
Miss Lynn wasn't there in those days, was she?
Well, she might have been, but I don't remember that she was there with my teacher. There was this, what the hell was her name? And I got along better in that room with her than I did in any when I was in school.
Yeah.
Of course, she recognized that I couldn't get up and recite a lesson offhand.
Uh-huh.
And so, for that reason, she made a good pupil out of me,
Yeah.
as far as she was concerned.
How far did you go in school?
Well, I at that time, we had the high school down where the city hall is.
Uh-huh.
And
Did you go through high school?
oh, I'll just try to tell you that now. So, one day, Miss Amos was teaching, and somebody made a noise off over here, and she said, "You get up and go in to see the principal." I said, now, Miss Amos, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go in there, whatever you tell me what I'm going for. So she runs in and tells the principal. She comes out and tells me to just get out. So I went back in there, went down, slammed the door, and went up to the top and listened to her reading my pedigree. So I waited just a minute, and I told her, I come back to correct her, that I didn't do anything. And I wasn't going into that superintendent and say, I don't know what I'm in here for.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I thank you for all the compliments you've just been passing just a minute. Out I went. Well, I went to see the superintendent. I can't think of his name right now. So he got up my history. And now I was born, leave that over a minute.
Okay.
All right.
You were what? You were telling me you were...
Quaker.
You were born and
Friends.
raised... Yeah, born and raised a Quaker. Yeah.
That's right. Had a birthright.
Right.
Well, and... but the one of them wasn't. He came down the Ohio River from Pennsylvania Dutch, and he was a millwright, and he met my grandmother down at southeastern Indiana. I can't think of that town now, city, and they were married. He finally drifted up here to Wabash. I said he still was that millwright and a deer hunter. Well, what I was trying to get at is, now the Quakers believed if they strike you on this side, you turn it over here, so you strike on that side. I never did, and I inherited that from him. You see? Because they ain't going to hit me on this side, somebody's going to get hit again. Well, so that was that. And anyway, superintendent had me in there, and he read the history. One of them was a teacher at the East Ward at noon and I was to stay in at noon. And whatever it was, I don't know. But anyway, when it come 15 after 12, I said, now I'm staying till 1:30, and then I'm going. You can't make me lose a meal. So when it got ready, she goes out and get another teacher to help, and I just backed her up against the wall, and then I went out. And so now he tells me all this stuff, you see. So there's a preacher who lived right there at the corner of Huntington, Walnut, and he had a son was going to school, and he made some insulting remarks to my sister. So one day I was off going to deliver some furniture for the Christmas time, and I saw him go along, and I just took that hitch stack out there and put it around his neck. I says, now I'll tell you what I'm going to do. That next time you make any remarks to my sister, I'm going to hang you. And so I just scared the hell out of him, and he went home and told the folks, and the folks went over and complained to the superintendent. So I told him, now no jurisdiction here. I was off consent of the parents working, and that's none of your business what happened. But I am telling you this, if he makes another remark, I'm not going to say I'm going to hang him, but I'm going to knock hell out of him some way. So I said, and you can take that for a bet. It's going to be that. So when he'd tell me all that stuff, you see, he finally ended up telling me, says, well, what you better do is just quit, go down and work in the furniture store. Well, so I did. And at that time they had a one-horse business college up above Beitman's store. And so I went there, and I learned more there than I would in the high school, because that woman who was teaching that didn't know much about it. And so I learned enough that I could departmentize the business. Father had given my brother and I half interest in the profits. So one day I said, where are the profits? How much? Well, it says they're on the books or they're in the stock. But that don't tell me anything. I'm going to know. So I did just that. There's a man working there, and we worked it out so we departmentized the thing. Charged us so much rent and all this and that, and you knew which is what was doing, what wasn't doing.
Yeah.
Well, so one day in January or February, it was always dull that time of year, and he comes in, he had a ledger, or a day book as he called it, slammed her down on the table.
This is your father, did
Yeah.
you? Yeah.
He says, I'm going to have books kept the way I want them. All right, you got a right to do that, and so do I.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to have it, there's going to be 2 sets of books kept. Well, of course, that backed him up there.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, so we used to, when we weren't working, we'd go out in the back room, unpack and do all this stuff. So one day I was sitting down on a counter right just outside the door of that. He come along and he says, well, why aren't you working? I says, I've graduated. How's that? I said, well, I'll tell you. If I've not any more of this business than that work back there, you can hire that man, that Owens, for $1.50 a day or whatever it is. I'm done. What did you do? Well, I said, I just go out on the floor and sell. Mm-hmm. There ought to be somebody here on this floor anyway. The minute somebody comes in and go up and greet them. Mm-hmm. Well, all right, that's what he did. And so, I was able to make a lot of changes. In the meantime, we were over on Canal Street for, what's the name of that,
between Wabash and Miami Street?
Huntington.
Between Wabash and Huntington?
Where?
Babers?
Babers.
Yes.
We were in there.
Uh-huh. That's where the furniture business was?
That's where we were.
Yeah. Let me go back. Did they also run the undertaking establishment there, too? Did they run the funeral home there, too?
Well, they didn't have a funeral home in those days. You just had it upstairs if you needed it.
Yeah. That's, in other words, you could, if someone died, Jones would take care of the funeral?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, then where the Sears Roebuck is,
Right.
that was vacant, and there's a man up there, or man, I forget his name. He sold a brother and me on the idea of moving. I didn't sell him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it only made a short amount of what we'd been paying in rent.
Mm-hmm.
But it made a wonderful difference. It had 4 rooms on the front there. You could set up bedroom, dining room, kitchen, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you could, then another thing we did, we grouped things. We wired things so you could put them in groups, lamps, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all that was modern stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I ain't got that, but traveling around, going down to Indianapolis, going to Marion, or wherever it was, see how these other stores did things, you see.
Well, did you and your brother then move to where the present Sears Roebuck
Yeah.
store is on Market Street? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was your father still in the business?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he had a number of houses down there by the on West Canal Street.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I come to have them some way. And anyway, he traded some of them for 80 acres south of Wabash, a short distance, no house on it, and a valley between it.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, he acquired another similar project at Mount Etna, Indiana, it's Huntington County.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, I can't just tell you how that happened, but somewhere or other, I got into a trade where I traded those 2 pieces of property into 240 acres north and east of Lake Grove. That would be the home of Jean Stratton Porter,
Mm-hmm.
her home.
Stratton Farm.
Yeah, Stratton Farm.
Right.
And, well, I took out of the business $10,000 to fix it up, fence it, paint it, everything there was to do. And hung from the panic, just wiped her out, and it's all gone.
Which panic was that? What year?
Well, that'd be the,
Before World War One?
well, yeah, but no, wait a minute. I'm trying to think back.
That wasn't the one of 1929, was it?
Now, wait a minute, 1929, 1930. Yeah, I bet that's it.
No.
1929.
Well, then, if I'm correct, then you traded off some properties and got some property at LeGros, and then you got wiped out in one of the depressions, right?
Well, then
Yeah.
I needed some of that money in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And
By this time, though, the business is over on Market Street.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay.
And the bank wouldn't loan me anymore.
Uh-huh.
I can put this in, and you don't need to have that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this Jim Robinson, his name was the president of that bank.
Which Farmers and Merchants?
No, the old imaginable Wabash National.
Wabash National?
What they call it, the alley of,
Right.
Well, anyway.
Why wouldn't he loan you the money?
Well, I had to make a statement, you see. And he said there's too many accounts there that maybe I wouldn't be able to collect and so on. But that's the way it was. So anyway, I wanted to know something. I don't know what it was. And he's right out in the bank vault. And he says he's going to sue me. I said, just sue me and be goddamned. I said, you've been having people crawl around on all these years begging you not to do it. I'm not begging. I'm telling you to do it.
Yeah.
So you know what he did? He got up, went on, come back. How'd you say you wanted it, Howard? Well, just what I told you.
Yeah.
So,
How much money was this?
well, I don't know what the amount he was going to give me. He didn't let me have it.
Yeah.
But I mean, what he was to do, I can't answer that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. So then, in the meantime, we moved down where the Rooster Tail now is.
That would be right in the block, on the north side of the block between Wabash and Miami Street.
That's right.
Right. And that's where the Jones brothers moved then, right?
That's right.
Right.
We were in there, and I said, I had asked the money, and I got this was all about Christmas time, so I got an auctioneer, a furniture auctioneer, and auctioned all that stock off, paid all the debts, ended up it didn't have a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a friend, his name was John Bradley. He was a younger brother of this Bradley drugstore. And this is during Prohibition. And he got drunk in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he took his car away from him. And so he come back to Wabash, and I had a car. So he said to me, why don't you come and go with me, and I'll pay you so much. I don't know what it was. I said, well, what do you do? Well, he said, I sell subscriptions to Business Magazine. Well, all right. So I went with him. We went out, say, 15 miles, something like that, and he went in the filling station. He sold a man, a gasoline retailer, $1. So he comes out and showed me that. I said, you mean tell me you can walk in there and talk to that man a few minutes and come out here with $1, all you did give a piece of paper? Yeah, that's the game, he said. All right. So we went along quite a while, and one day he said, when are you going to start? I said, well, whenever the Spirit moves me. I ain't going to tell you when. So it did one day. And I went to the filling station. I sold him that gasoline retailer $1. Then I was hooked and been hooked ever since on subscription work.
Yeah. What year was this?
Before
Before World War One?
That was during Prohibition.
During Prohibition?
Uh,
In the 20s sometime?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
That. What am I going to tell you now?
Well, we're going to go back a little bit.
All right.
Tell me about your mother's parents. Now they were, as I have seen their pictures, and they were unusual people. You told me they were birthright Quakers.
No, he wasn't.
She was.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you remember of the old gentleman? I've seen the picture with the long beard and mother sitting there looking
His
very
name was Coble.
Yeah.
Well, my mother said when I was born that they didn't have to report your name. But she named me Howard C. Jones. And she said, now you were born in Centennial Year or Coble, both is C. Now you decide which one you want. So I decided on Coble.
Yeah.
See, there's the maiden name.
Yeah.
Now, I have to tell you one thing about her. They lived in Greensboro, North Carolina. And they were active in that Underground Railroad. And they had to leave between days to get away from them because the government was going to get them. And they ended up down where I told you, southeastern Indiana. And that's where she met him and was married. And now what else did you say?
You say that he was a millwright. What would that...
A millwright. Well, you know, where they ground the wheat on ground the mill, they...
He worked around flour mills and all this.
Sure, they call them millwrights. That's what they call them.
How did Mr. Coble, did he live to an old age? And do you remember how he died?
No, I can't tell you exactly, but he wasn't...
When he got up in years, wasn't he famous for taking his long walks every day?
No, but he was a deer hunter.
Deer hunter?
See? Take walks that way.
Yeah. You ever remember some of his deer hunting expeditions?
Well, I never know anything about... Only thing I never could understand why anybody wanted to hunt an inoffensive animal like a deer.
Yeah.
If you want to hunt these offensive, well, that's all right, but I could never believe that.
Yeah.
Well, so I didn't.
What was your house like when you were a little boy running around home, and how did they heat it, and what did your mother prepare, and what did she prepare it on, and so forth? What was it like around home?
Well, she was the cook, of course, and they had a horse. She did. She called him Pomp. I says, it's such a damn name as that, I wouldn't have recognized it. So I called him Jim. Well, now then I put her lived on that horse's back when I was a kid. And one day she told me I had to come in the house and asked her when I was going to ride it. I said, all right, just get somebody else to take care of it. If I'm going to take care of it, I'm going to ride it. Well, I trained that horse, everything you could think of it. One of them was, he'd be going to make a certain noise of some kind or command to stop, like he'd stop. Then I got the brothers to get on and stop, and off they went, and I wasn't bothered with them anymore. See, so now I trained that horse single foot. You know what single foot is?
No.
Well, it's between a gallop and a trot. It's a easy kind for a saddle. I trained the horse to do that. And how you do it, I don't know, but I did.
This was a saddle horse?
That was a saddle horse.
Where would you ride it to then, when you had free time?
Up and down the streets, any place. Those.
Would that be quite similar to the kids jumping in their cars and riding around nowadays?
Well, of course, those days you didn't have any cars.
Yes. But, I mean, you just go out and ride around on your horse for pleasure.
Yes, wherever I wanted to go.
Yeah.
See?
What kind of lighting, how did you light your house?
Oh, electricity.
Electricity. Did you have central heat?
Yeah, we had central heat. Well, those days we had to burn coal before we had gas. What else, though?
Was your mother a good cook?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
What were some of the things that you remember?
Oh, Lord, I can't remember that.
Baked your own bread?
I suppose she did. I don't know that.
How was the this business college up above Beitman's? Do you remember who ran that?
No, I don't. He was a stranger.
Uh-huh.
And there were, I can just remember 3 people that belonged to it.
There was just 3 of you in the class?
That I remember.
That you remember.
There might have been more.
Yeah.
But I just remember them.
This school at the city hall, was it in the city hall or right
up above.
It was right up above the city hall? It was before they built this building over here then?
Yeah. I think maybe it wasn't completed and they had to be there.
Yeah.
And all of it was right on that 3rd floor with the exception of the mayor's office.
Yeah. How about the funeral home now? Was your father a undertaker?
Yeah.
And he would have most of the funerals those days were how were they?
Well, they were if they wanted to have it in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had it up where the caskets were, where we sold the casket.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, then we moved up Corner Hill and Miami Street.
Mm-hmm.
That was the funeral home.
Yeah.
And that was the way early days on that.
Yeah. Was your brother? Was he an undertaker too?
Yeah.
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 Now, were you trained as an undertaker also?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was the other way, but more furniture salesman and that class. No, I wasn't. I could conduct a funeral, but I didn't know anything about the embalming and all of that.
Yeah. Then you never really got into that end of the business.
No, not that end.
Yeah.
Mine was furniture.
Yours was the furniture.
Yeah.
But who were some of the big manufacturers of furniture back in those days? Where were they located? Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I sure asked me some of those now.
Who were some of the kids that you ran around with when you were when you were just
at school?
Yeah, when you were tearing around.
Mm-hmm. You asked me again, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're going back so doggone many years.
Well, anybody that was born during the centennial, after all, does go back quite a few years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, right this minute I can tell you.
Did a young lady come into your life someplace along in this period?
Well, yeah, her name was Annie Connor.
And who was her father?
Well, his name was J.D. Connor. He wasn't the judge; he was an attorney.
Mm-hmm.
He formed the Belgium Horse Breeding Association,
Mm-hmm.
and that office was upstairs there over what is underneath there. And
Was the office on South Wabash Street there all those years, above the jewelry store, or?
well, it was right there, this side of the stair where they went up where the bank was,
Mm-hmm.
and then right there's where it was. Now they recently moved to corner of Wabash and
Wabash and Market.
Market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The office was upstairs. There used to be a jewelry store then in that building, right behind the bank building.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Where was it? I've seen the old photographs.
Might be. I don't remember that. I forget what was in there.
Yeah.
I thought there was a store. No, I can't answer that. Yeah, I'm going back to many years.
How about J.D. Connor? Now, what was he like? What kind of a man was he like? Your father-in-law.
Oh, he never took a drink in his life, and he was a very nice man, but he didn't. And I used to play golf and come home and have a highball, and he'd say I shouldn't do that. He says you might sometime have business trouble or something, and you want to drown your sorrows in liquor. Well, That never happened. I mean, even all the disappointments I had, it didn't. And I never did much drinking. Usually I would say before dinner. But I don't do that anymore. Now I drink one bottle of beer before dinner and no more.
Where did J.D., didn't he used to go to Europe quite often on these horse, or was that his son?
No, wait a minute. Say, I can't answer that. He did. I don't think he ever went to Europe.
Did he have children other than your wife?
Yes.
A son?
No son. I've got another daughter. And she married Lawrence Stewart.
Mm-hmm. Lawrence.
You know who Stewart's? Well, Stewart. Dr. Stewart lived north of the courthouse.
Right.
And this was his son. And he married the younger daughter, sister of my wife.
Yeah.
I think there's difference there, about 13 years difference. She just recently died in California.
Dr. Stewart was your brother-in-law then?
Huh?
Dr. Stewart was your brother-in-law?
No, not my brother-in-law.
What would he be to you?
Well, Dr. Stewart wasn't any relation, but his son married.
Oh, I see.
The son would have been a brother-in-law.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. The son would have been a... Was he a doctor also?
No, he was... I don't know if he was anything.
Did you know the Stewarts quite well?
Well, yeah. This Dr. Stewart had an older son, and they had a member of his troop in those days, and he passed away. And the mother just did everything in the world that Lawrence Stewart wanted to do. It didn't make a damn bit of what it was. He could do it. She just literally spoiled him. And so, well, that's about all of that.
How did you happen to get on the, how did you happen to be selected for the school board? Now, this was in the 20s.
Huh?
This was in the 1920s.
Yeah. In truth, I don't know how that happened.
Who was on the board with you at that time? You remember?
No.
What, was there a minister from the South Side?
Wait a minute.
Was,
That was Dawes was the minister from the South Side.
and wasn't he on the board the same time you were?
Well, now I can't remember that.
You told me one time, not too long ago here, about you were on the board when they built the present Wabash High School out on North Miami Street. What was the story on that you were telling me?
Well, the contract was let, and I can't remember what caused the delay. There was something caused the delay, which they couldn't complete that part of the building. Now I don't know whether it was built and wasn't completed or what the hell. Anyway, it was built without it. See, I don't think that was added to it later. I don't know what caused it, but it did.
You remember anything other than outstanding or anything happened while you were on the school board? Were you out of money or had lots of money or trouble with teachers or no trouble with teachers?
No, we didn't have any trouble like that. Actually, gone far. It's hard to remember all these things.
Did you, by any chance, did you belong to the Ku Klux Klan during the 20s?
Yes.
How did this come about?
Well, it came about, and then I was on some kind of a board of directors, and they had a meeting, and in it, they were going to, for instance, I had what at that time was where the bank now is, was a cigar store.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Who owned the cigar store?
well,
Augie Wassman, was that his store?
that Westman owned it.
Yeah.
But something happened there. Anyway, Dr. Wilson, I forget who the other was, and myself. And it had to be sold.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know why. And so I said, well, you're going to sell it, I'll buy it. I'll pay you market price for the stuff and so on, which they agreed to. Then I hired a young fellow to run it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a Catholic, as I remember. No, he married a Catholic, that's the way it was. And they told me I'd have to get rid of him in this meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a bookkeeper on the furniture end of it, and she was a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get rid of her. I said, you can go plumb to hell. I said, I've been running my business so far, and I'll run it from now on.
Uh-huh.
Just go to hell and I'll win.
Uh-huh. And that was the end of your Ku Klux Klan?
That was the end of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
And so, there it was again. I was going to have someone tell me what I'm going to do.
Uh-huh.
Hit me on this side, see?
Uh-huh. Who was behind the all this telling you what to do? Who was it that was
When do you mean tell me what to do?
in this Ku Klux Klan? Who were these people?
Oh, I don't remember who they were.
Yeah. But they were telling you to get rid of them, huh?
Yeah, in this meeting, I was on a board of directors of some kind.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember who they were. And no, I can't remember that.
You would have been 50 years old approximately when the Ku Klux Klan was at the height in the 20s there.
Something like that.
Yeah. Did you go to any of the meetings? The Ku Klux Klan meetings?
Well, I went to that one,
Yeah.
but I never remember going to any others.
Uh-huh.
You mean where they? No, I don't think I ever went to them. I wasn't very much sold on the damn thing, and I don't know how I got into it, but I was.
A lot of them were forced into it on money matters and so forth. I know a lot of them were.
Whatever it could be. I don't know if I had anyone to force me to join it, but I did.
Yeah.
So,
How far back do you remember presidents?
presidents? Oh, wait a minute.
McKinley?
McKinley and, what's his name?
You go back further than McKinley? Remember the Spanish-American War?
Huh?
Do you remember the Spanish-American War?
Yes,
Yeah.
sure.
You remember when the people left and went to war here?
Yeah, well, now, you see, the Spanish-American War, I didn't go.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't necessary for me to go. I was married,
Uh-huh.
and I was just, all these years, I was just long enough to keep away from getting into the service, one way or another.
When was your when was your daughter born?
She's born on 19th of January, 1900.
1900. Yeah. You just had the one child.
One child. Oh, I had two others, but they died in the infancy. A boy and a girl.
Do you remember hard times, depressions?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me some of the stories of the hard times.
Oh, gosh, I can't tell you that.
Was there ever a time that you were out of money?
No. I wasn't out of money at the time.
Where did you live after you got married?
Well, right across the street from Wabash in Stitt Street is a house north of that church. North. And J.D. Connor lived there. Well, across the street was a house, and we lived there. And these 3 children were born there. And so he deeded that lot along Stitt Street there to us as a wedding present, but it had a clause whereby no business could be run on that property. See, you could build a house on it, but you couldn't build he did that. He didn't want his window there in the dining room window obstructed. So then I decided I'd build a house. I put in the foundation, and one day I got to thinking, what in the hell do you want to build a house for? You can rent for $8 a month. You can't afford it. And I never did. In the meantime, Mrs. Connor died, then we went over there and lived there for years. She did the cooking and managed and so for him. So
Was that a nice house in its day?
yeah, yes, it was. Very nice house.
Large house.
Well, it was big enough to subdivide it and make a duplicate out of it, upper and lower.
Hey, do you remember Prohibition? Did you drink back in those days, during Prohibition?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd the boys go for a drink in those days?
Well, now, Wabash County was dry, but Huntington County wasn't. You could go over there. Now, that did we have Prohibition stores all over the country, or just say, I can't remember about that.
We did have.
I do remember that, though, when Indiana was dry and, Wabash County was dry and Huntington wasn't.
You remember the bootleggers around Wabash at all? Fred Reno or any of those?
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Reno and...
Did he run a good place?
Oh, he didn't run a place of any kind. He just... And I remember...
Just made it and sold it?
Well, he didn't mill it. He just bring it to you, see?
Yeah.
Then that... No. I'll go back to that furniture store. We auctioned that off. And then I sold that. I leased that to Ned Williams. And he put in the back end of it there, he put a liquor outlet. And then the other was the bar. And
that's where the Rooster Tail is now.
I run that cigar store down there. I run it a while, and I didn't like the damn thing. And so I got a chance to sell it to Ned Williams. And so he took it and made a lot of money out of it. He had both outlets on the liquor.
Did you sell it to him outright?
Yeah, I sold him their pool tables and billiard tables and the bars and so forth. Now, when I had it, I wouldn't allow anybody to stand up that bar and take a drink. If they had it in their pocket and wanted to go out back in there to tell it, I didn't want these doing there, but I did know if they're standing here doing it, and I wouldn't allow them to do it.
Do you ever remember the expression blind pig?
Blind pig. Yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember that. What that would be.
The bootleggers.
Well, yeah, but I say I can't remember of one.
Yeah.
You know.
I talked to another old gentleman that was an acquaintance of yours not too long ago, and he was telling me about the red light district in Wabash. Do you remember that?
Red light?
Yeah.
Hell's fire. I didn't know we ever had one. We had, down there on South Cass Street, down there, if you got across the railroad tracks, was a district down in there that wasn't the most desirable in the world. But
No women of easy virtue down in that area?
well, I'm just trying to think whether we ever molested. I suppose we did, but I can't remember that. No, I can't.
When did you meet Mr. Honeywell?
Well, we used to belong to the same crowd, and there was Honeywells and Dr. Sneidman and myself. I forget who the rest of them were right this minute. And so he was in the plumbing business. And then he decided on this mercury pressure on the hot water systems. So he got, Joe Teague was one of them, and McNamee's was another one that went in with him on. Well, it made money, but after a bit, it was no good because they used vapor instead of pressure on the hot water. So then he started this, what do you call it?
Regulator?
No,
Thermostat.
Control. He started that, and so one day he said to me, let's go down to Indianapolis. Dr. Domer was in the service, and he's going to be there. So we went down there. We had dinner in the Claypool, and so they wouldn't serve any liquor to you on account of him. So I got up and walked over to the bar and had a drink, and then there was a drunken furniture salesman, and he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm in here with some friends eating dinner." Well, he's going in. I says, "Hell, I can't take you in. I'm a guest." And so we went in, and he followed in. He sat down, and he finally, "What the hell's the matter with you, friend Honeywell?" I said, "I expect he wants to know what you're doing in here where you're not invited." So, anyway, that was it. Well, anyway, now when I got home, I told Mark, I says, "Now, I'm sorry that all that happened, but that is no fault of mine, that drunken. Only thing was fault that I went into the bar itself. But I said, I went down there, have a good time, and I said, if Dr. Rummer couldn't have a drink served to him, well, that's his fault, not mine. And I said, as a matter of fact, I could serve him a drink, not there. So I said I could go up to his room and take it along and give it to him. So anyway, from that time on, I wasn't a very good friend of Honeywell. Now that was him. He never had what he called a lasting friendship with someone. There's always some damn thing that happened that threw him off.
Did you think that he was going to be as successful as he was when you were young?
Well, of course you didn't know that. You couldn't tell you. He married. Her name was Lutz, and his father's name was Reuben Lutz, and he was, I think, president of the bank. And through that, he was able to borrow enough money with the help of these other people that went in to start that business. And in the meantime, she passed away, and then this present wife now, who is, what's her name now?
Mrs. Nixon.
Huh?
Don, used to be Mrs. Don Nixon.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, she was down around Terre Haute, was her home, a small town south. Her mother used to be to run the Elks Club there at Terre Haute. And then she married and she was still here.
Yeah. Did you ever see Mr. Honeywell later years? Did you see him very often?
Oh, no. You see, in the meantime, I got started traveling, and I would be gone. For instance, I'm gone all winter down to Florida, and I'd work down and work back. Then I'd come up here and I'd work here 6 months around in here. Well, you see, I wouldn't have much time for. I would go, for instance, I'd start at April, about the 10th of April. I'd go over to Dayton, then Columbus, then Toledo, and Fort Wayne. That gives you a general idea. Well, now that takes me 3 days out of a week to do that. And at one time, I used to work in between, calling on doctors and pet shops and things like that. But I quit it because, well, hell, I was getting old enough that I didn't have to work all the time. So I didn't. And I told you a while ago I was hooked on the circulation then. Now, I was with the dog world 25 years with them, you see. Now, that's a different proposition than selling subscriptions through agencies. And there are a lot of people wouldn't have anything to do with agencies because of the type of salesmen that they had. Drunkards and horse players and every other damn thing. Well, anyway, there was then I took on a lumber magazine, a coal magazine, and a bulk plant magazine. And those, you didn't have to hunt them. When you went into a city, you went out to railroad yards, and there they were, you see? And so in the meantime, this lumber magazine, he temporarily was with the dog world, but he got a chance to go to to manage a bunch of magazines, but his wife wouldn't stay because too many bugs down there, so they went back to Chicago. They had a home there, and then he sold air conditioning. Well, but in the meantime, my wife passed away, and I told him, and he came along, and he said, I'm going to Fort Wayne, and I'll stop and see you. So I did, and he said, now, the dog world wants to go to Texas, because the man down there is a figure-out from Drunkard. He says they can't depend on him what the hell is going to happen. He says, now, I'll tell you what you do. You come and go along, and you can work these old magazines, some of them, through the agencies, and you can help me. Well, we did. We agreed to that. So we started out. We got to, I'll think of it in a minute. And we stayed in a hotel with a room on each side, the bathroom in the center. And I noticed that night he got up a number of times. The next morning he went down and walked in front of me, and I noticed one foot's dragging. So we had breakfast, went out and got in the car, and the cars were diagonal park. He damn near hit them, and they went around the corner, and just come up to a woman's car, just touched. I got out and told her. I said, now the man isn't drunk, he's sick. I said he's had a stroke, but he won't admit it because he's Christian Science. And I said he isn't going to drive anymore. I said, brother, now you sit right over there. I'll do the driving. And so then we went back, Shreveport.
Shreveport, Louisiana?
Yeah. And now we had 200 miles to go to get to Dallas. And Dallas and Fort Worth. And anyway, all the way over, he'd lost control of the urn, and he'd had to go in the filling station, and he'd go in there, and then he'd go in there and sit in there and sleep. Now that was a hell of a job driving those 200 miles. And I finally got to Dallas and got him in a hotel. And I called up the wife and told her, Frank's an awful sick man, and he's got to be in a hospital. I can't take care of him. Oh, no, don't put him in a hospital. She says, we'll come down tonight, son-in-law, and I will fly down, which they did. Well, they, I listened all that afternoon to that death rattles, and he finally passed away about 6 o'clock.
Before they got there?
Yeah. Well, of course, then I had to go through the police and all that stuff, which they verified. Well, what I was trying to get at, they had to notify the hotel, and they got the police up, and they questioned me, and that was all worked out. But here comes the fellow with a stretcher. What are you doing with that? Well, he says, that's just the police. He says, we take the body. Who said you take the body? Well, he says, that's what you usually do, but this is one time you're not. I said, I'm the one that says who's going to take the body. I said, the man and his wife is coming down here tonight, and she'll take care of the body. But at the point I'm going to get it, that's it out. Before he died, why, here comes a, what do you call him, reader, or what do you call him?
Reader.
Huh?
A reader.
Well, what?
Practitioner.
Practitioner. And he says he wants to give him a treatment. And I said, well, you give him the treatment, I'm going to get out and get something to eat. So when I come back, I say, you finished? He says, no, but he can finish it by absent treatment. And I said, now, brother, let me tell you something. You're just kidding yourself. The man's unconscious. He don't know you're here. And I said, you notice, he has hearing aids. I was afraid to put him in and hurt him. But I said, it wouldn't make any difference anyway, because he don't know you're here. Now, how in the hell could you do him any good while you're here or in absent treatment?
Did his wife show up then, finally?
Oh, then the wife showed up that evening, and sure, then she took him. So then, what I'm trying to get at, then I bought from her whatever supplies he had. And then I called up, or rather, I got ahead of my story. I called up the Dog World and asked them if they wanted me to make these shows. So they said they did. Then I bought whatever equipment he had. And I had a son-in-law agency out here for Pontiac and what's the other one? Cadillac. So I made an arrangement with him where I could buy a car down the south there some way, and he would guarantee it, or he'd buy it and I'd pay him, whichever way it was. So I did. And so I just suppose when I got home, I'd go up there to Chicago, and that'd be the end, but it wasn't. I'd been with him ever since, 25 years.
You were about, 70, 68, 70 years old when you started?
I'd be 25, it had to be, say, around 70.
Yeah.
And I stayed with him till last November.
How about, you were talking about selling this gasoline retailer for $1?
Yeah.
How much would you get of the $1? What was your commission?
10% I give them.
Yes.
90%.
90. In other words, you kept a dime for every.
Huh?
You kept a dime for every.
Oh, I kept 90 cents of it.
You kept 90 cents.
I give them 10 cents.
Yeah. How did they make out?
Well, I don't know how they did. That's the way they worked it.
Yeah.
And that was just the same with these others, too. These others did the same thing, only they wouldn't have anything to do with agency fellows. And those 3 magazines, I could go any place I wanted to, and no, because they're the only salesman they had. I was just able to sell them, you see.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is the end of part 1.
Part 2, Howard Jones. Part 2.
Well, how about, what changes have you noticed in Wabash or life or anything else in your 90-some years?
Changes, you mean? Well, there had been about 10,000 for years. They've since have got out to about 13,500, something like that. Well, a lot of that is due to the General Tire. I believe they said they employ 700 people out there. A lot of people.
Do you remember when that was service motor truck?
What?
Do you remember when they made trucks there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was... I was trying to think who's the head of that truck business. And he was mixed up with it, but he wasn't I'd say he was a salesman. I'm trying to think who in the hell would be the head of it. You can't tell me?
No, I don't know. I really don't. How about some of the other plants, the baking powder plant? Do you remember that?
Yeah, baking powder.
Was that a big factory?
No. That was right down South Wabash, just across the tracks. It was in the building right there.
Oh, that's okay.
And
who ran it?
Now you asked me another one.
Will Urschel, didn't he own it?
Well, now, he might have been. Could be. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Let me see. Now, Mrs. John Sutherland was the daughter of a man who managed the business. That's all I can remember. Because at one time I was selling life insurance. And I used to go down there and work on him. I don't remember whether I ever sold him or not, but I got so I sold enough that there was people who wanted me to work for them, you see.
What company did you represent?
Northwestern Mutual Life. And by the way, the Northwestern Mutual Life, I used to carry 25,000, then I went broke, and finally, when I was around 70, something like that, I took $1,000. And so one day, the agent here, I can't think of his name right now.
Ritter Lavengood?
Yeah. Called me up and told me to come down there. So I went down, and he told me I lived my expectancy. And that I had a $1,000 policy and $1,000 in money. I couldn't understand that $1,000 in money. Well, so they agreed that as long as I kept the policy, they'd pay me interest, whatever it was, for a regular rate of saving, you know. And so I've done that. And I've used it. I assigned it, put it down to the bank, so if I want to borrow any money, I can borrow it. Because I used to own those buildings down there on the Wabash and Canal, and I deeded them to my daughter and granddaughter. Well, I says, well, I better do it because it just saves complications on the estate. So, well, that meant that I didn't have any financial backer on the borrow. But this other, if I want, one time I borrowed 300. Well, then I paid the damn thing off, and well, what else am I going to tell you?
Well, I'm going to ask you how you feel at age 96.
Oh, I don't feel to be that age.
Don't you really?
No, I'll tell you, every once in a while when I'm shaving in the morning, I look at myself, 96. Damn it, you're 96, but you don't feel it. I don't feel that way at all. But I've got good health, and before I went to California, I had a checkup, and I was all right. And all these years I've had good health. So that's the main thing, to have a good health.
Yeah, sure.
Isn't it?
Sure. How did you and I both belong to Rotary Club?
That's right.
How did you happen to get in on to be a charter member of the Wabash Rotary Club?
Well,
Who asked you?
Dr. Sneidman had let's put that right. Somewhere or other, he'd been up to Elkhart. And I can't think what his name was. It used to be down here they called it the Starboard. And he went up to Elkhart and formed a company up there. What the hell, I can't think what the hell they made. Had paper goods of some kind. And he went with him to the Rotary Club up there. And that got him started on the Rotary Club. So then he came home and he started to form the Rotary Club. He went up to Huntington. I remember I went with him. And they gave him a lot of instruction and so forth. And that's the way the Wabash Rotary Club was started. And so
Who was? Go ahead.
Well, Dr. Wilson, and I can't think of that man, was connected with the Wabash Cabinet Company right this minute. I can't think. They were presidents. At that time, the board of directors made them. So that, by gosh, one day they come out and told me I'm a president of the Rotary Club. Now, Sneidman did that, because I think the reason he did it, he figured that I would repay that a political debt, so to speak. Well, I did too, and it was hard to do it, but all I had to do was to point to the fact that he was responsible for the forming of the Wabash Rotary Club, but it wasn't generally known. So I was able to make him then the president. So that's how I come to be the president. That was the biggest shock I ever had when he told me that.
I think you were the second president.
Third.
Yeah. Sneidman was first, and then Wilson.
No. Dr. Wilson, I can't think of his name now, was down there to that Wabash Cabinet Company. I'll think of his name in a minute. Well, he was the next one, then I was the next one. But after that, they changed that so that the board of directors didn't do it. It was done by election.
Where did you meet in those days? Mellow Moon? That was before the days of the country club, and the hotel wasn't built. And did you meet at the Elks golf course? That was later. Oh, church.
Huh?
Did you meet at the Presbyterian or the Christian Church?
Must have been the Presbyterian Church.
Yeah. Back in those days. Did you, things about the same as they are in 1970?
What's that now?
Were Rotary meetings about the same as they are?
Yeah, I don't see there's much difference.
Did you sing?
Well, whatever you do.
Yeah. Had lunch and
Lunch.
Yeah. And then had a program.
Yeah, had a program.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the fellowship and the companionship of your fellow businessmen?
Oh, sure. Yeah, naturally you would.
Yeah. Did you ever go to any of the conventions or conferences or anything?
No, I've been. I never went to any convention. Say, wait a minute. I must have gone down to Indianapolis one time for one, but I can't remember that.
You look back on those as pleasant experiences?
Well, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
You ever think that you would go through so many depressions and inflation periods during your life?
Oh, well, I guess the Lord must have made me so that I didn't let him get me down. I wasn't whipped, see? I just took it as a consequence, whatever it is, and that's it. Because it wasn't, for instance, some of my failures wasn't well, it wouldn't have been if business conditions had been general instead of abnormal. Yeah.
What do you do for recreation?
Well, right now, I don't do anything. Just walk and take your exercise in the morning. I take exercise in the morning. Over 600 different operations, 24 each one. I do that regularly, every morning. Then, normally, I walk 1 mile a day. But I haven't been doing that for a few days. I've been fighting dandelions. Had a ability to dig them out. And so that gives me a lot of exercise.
Do you watch television?
Oh yeah, I don't a lot of it. I have. There's a few of them that do. Now, for instance, I used to get one in the afternoon, Edge of Night. Well, I don't do it anymore. There's not enough to it that interests me. So, but I'll usually go to say about 4:30, and then you've got on the what the hell they call that?
What kind of a program is it?
Ponderosa. I listen to that. That's an hour. Well, then when that's just about over, I go out and get the bottle of beer. I get it all fixed up to use. And then at 5:45, I'll start to drink that bottle of beer, which will take me 1/2 an hour. See, I'll take a sip, 2 sips, and wait, say, half a minute, another, and so on. That's the way I do that regularly. And then by that time, they're going to have dinner ready. Now, the granddaughter, she is very punctual on getting that meal for me. And now, last night, she had some company out there in the kitchen, so she brought it into me on a television table, you know, and I ate it in the living room where I'd been watching this
Ponderosa.
And now then, the Ponderosa, there's another one after that. Oh, I don't care so much for it, but I'll listen to it. It's called, it's about the police in Los Angeles.
Dragnet or something?
Dragnet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not so interested in that. It's damn hard to figure out what the hell they're doing.
Yeah. Did you ever smoke in your life, Howdy?
Yeah, I haven't smoked. I used to smoke a cigar, chew it from the time I got up till I went to bed. And then when I got to selling farm insurance and life insurance, I was riding in a buggy, and that wouldn't go very well. I got so I had to do a little chewing. I never did chew before. So I got so I was doing too damn much of it. And one day, I was right down in front of the items to be delivered for Christmas. And I woke up, my head was up there against there. I got up and what the hell's wrong here? So I went to see the doctor. It's too much of it, he said. Well, all right, then we'll ease up on it. So you know how you do on ease up. wasn't long. So one day I was waiting on a bride and a groom and their mother, the bride's mother, and it hit me again. I just got each one by the shoulder, just instant this time. So I went to see the doctor again. Well, they said, I told you, but you're never going to tell me again. And they never did. Now that'd be, I was 40 then. So you figure it out.
You've outlived all your doctors.
No. Dr. Preston down here, he's a second cousin. And he must be around 70-something. So
He's your doctor?
yeah.
Been for all these years?
I don't see I'm the doctor. I don't really have a doctor. I usually go to checkup, see, and that's about all.
You have any of your teeth left?
One.
Yeah.
One right there. How that never stayed, I don't know. There was two. And another one this way. But it was loose. So I was talking to the dentist one day about pulling it, and he's going to take an X-ray. I ain't going to take an X-ray. I'll pull the damn thing myself. He says, I'm going to pay you the X-ray to take. I said, practically all the teeth I've got in my head were pulled even before you had, what is it called?
Novocaine?
Yeah. I said it was pulled and there weren't any X-rays taken. I said, that's just another way of getting some money for nothing. Don't amount to a damn. So I pulled it myself.
Did you?
Whoa, I get a hold of the damn thing, I just pull it.
How old were you then?
Oh, I'd say that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When that was done.
Yeah.
And I still got that other one. And not long ago, I had the dentist, and he looked at it and said it maybe it ought to have a, what do you call it?
Filling?
A filling.
Yeah.
And he put a filling in it. So, that's that.
96-year-old man has a filling in his tooth, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
What was it like, what was it like when you were a young man, or when you were a kid when you went to the dentist? Old Doc Payne and some of those would have been dentists in those days. What was it like?
I can't remember now. Wait a minute. The corner of, let's say, Wabash Street and the first alley north, above there was where Dr. Salesman was. Now I can't think of what that dentist's name was in there. And Dr. Salesman's father and this, what do you call it, were friends. And that's how he got to go in there when the other man retired. But I can't think what his name. So he was the dentist.
Yeah. Do you remember going to the dentist when you were a young man? Did you go to the dentist when you were a young man? Did you go to the dentist? Did you have to go to a dentist when you were...
Well, I occasionally had to, yeah. I had to have a tooth pulled or...
How much did they charge in those days?
Oh, it didn't charge you much for pulling a tooth. I remember it's $2. Or maybe I'm wrong on that. That didn't amount so much when I pulled them, because I don't know what they charged, maybe more when what they used Novocaine. Say, a big percent of them I had pulled me. They were aching, you know. It was a damn sight easier. I mean, it was better to have them out. The pain of taking them out than to leave them in.
Do you still read a lot? Do you read the Plain Dealer?
Yeah, I read the Plain Dealer and the Star, and then I read
magazines.
I read Time, and I also read Prevention. That's a magazine on health, prevention of disease, and another one. Excuse me. What's that over?
What's it about? What's it?
I'll take it in a minute. All these various stories condensed.
Oh, Reader's Digest.
That's it.
Yes.
I read that.
Yeah.
Now I'm various things. Now, you see, in the evening when I get through with the meal, the dinner, I help her to clean up the kitchen and all that. Then I'll go in there and sit down and read till about 8 o'clock. Then I get up and go upstairs. And I may read a little bit more up there until about 9:15. And then 9:15 I get ready to get to bed. And then I sleep 9 hours.
So you get up at 6 o'clock every morning.
Oh, 10 minutes to 6.
What do you do then?
Well, I got to go get shaved and fixed all up and fix your teeth and
You come down then and eat breakfast?
no, I go to take the exercise then. Now, it takes me about 30 minutes to take the exercise.
Now, these are
No, it's about 25 minutes.
these are arm bends and
Every damn thing you can think of.
and then what do you do? It's
Then, after I get that done, I put on the tie and I go downstairs. I start to cook my breakfast. I do my own cooking. I have an egg, soft-boiled egg, 2 pieces of whole wheat bread, toasted well done, and some oatmeal, and wheat germ, and raisins. Now, when all that's cooked up a bit, and then I put it on there and cook that so the raisins are all cooked good. And I set that on a hot water boiler and let her go a while and get the coffee ready, but I don't use that coffee right then. Then I go and get the toast the way I want it, and get the egg fixed, eat the egg, and then I go back and get the other and bring it over. Then I add sugar, and I add butter, and I add wheat or
milk.
no, Lowry's salt. See?
Seasoned salt.
Yeah. I use that, and that makes the breakfast. And that's the egg. Start with, see. Then I get the other going. Then that's been all hotter than hell, so then I got to stir it on about 40 times up, so you get it so you can eat it. And, yes, sir. And I'll have a good breakfast there. And then the coffee, I'll have it ready, and I'll eat it. Not with that first part, the second part.
You got any funny stories that have happened to you? Something funny that's happened to you in your life?
Funny? Well, I don't know about that. What would be funny? There might have been a lot of them.
Anything that you can remember that was particularly funny? Some incident that happened?
No, sir. Right this minute, I can't think of any. There might have been.
Anything that happened maybe when you were selling magazines or?
Oh, boy, listen. I used to leave here in the latter part of September. And I go to Chattanooga and Knoxville. Then, from there used to go to Austin, Texas. But then I quit going to auction. Then I would go to San Antonio, come back to Houston, and then I'd start going on that circuit there. That'd take me over to Shreveport, and what the hell was that one? I can't remember that. I don't think I remember.
Baton Rouge?
Huh?
Baton Rouge?
No, I didn't used to go to Baton Rouge. I could have. See. No, I'm going west now. See, I'm going way over there. Now I'm coming back. I go to what I told you a while ago, to make it different. And I end up at Dallas and Fort Worth. Then from there, I'm going to two places in Georgia. That'll be
Savannah?
Savannah
And
and
Atlanta, probably.
no, Savannah. Oh, I can't think of that other right now. It's up the river there from there. Anyway, but I quit it because you had to drive at night. Quit one or the other. You drive at night, and the last time I drove it, why, I'd be looking this way to see anyone's coming, and there's a policeman behind me, you see, and he figures that I'm tight. So I finally pulled off the side of the road. I didn't know whether the police or what it was, but he didn't go around. So then I went ahead. So finally I got over to wherever this was. Then he come around and stopped me. And he wanted to know if I'd been drinking. No, sir, I never touch it when I'm driving. And, well, he says, where are you headed for? And Augusta. And he says, well, now listen, you're in no condition, you've no business driving at night on these two-lane roads. And he says, what you better do is just to stay right here on the morning, and then you can. So I says, all right, you put me where I can park this car, where I can sleep in it. And so he did. He picked me where I could. Then next morning I woke up, and I got on over there to Augusta, and made the show. Mm-hmm. Well, then I had it from Augusta, then I had to go back down to what did I tell you?
Savannah?
Savannah. And so then after that I quit making those shows. One of them, I'd make one, as long as I didn't have to drive one or the other at night. Mm-hmm. So, well, then from there I go to St. Petersburg, Florida, and I stay there for 4 months, and I only made 3 shows while I was doing it. And so then I lost. My house trailer got on fire caused by a shortage, electrical shortage. And I had just got out in time, and my brother or I wouldn't be here. Because it wasn't in the trailer, it was in the, whatever you call it, the side of it.
The walls?
Well...
Insulation?
No, there's a... What the hell did they call it? Where you got the side of your... You got your trailer, and then you got this thing at the side. And the back end of it I had as a
like a
workshop.
Workshop, yeah.
And that's where that happened, because I had saws, motor saws.
How long ago was this?
Oh, that was a year ago in January.
A year ago. Probably that. So then you just decided then that you'd retire, huh?
Well, no. My grandson-in-law, that's Robert Manby, he said, are you going to Florida this year? Yes. What for? Habit. And I said, what are you going to do when you haven't got a house trailer? Well, I can go to the Elks Club and stay in the daytime, and then I can sleep in the car just like I always do anyway. And I says, I'll get by. Well, I'm going to tell you something. No, he says, you're 96 years old. You might as well make up your mind one time or another. You got to slow up. And what I want you to do is to slow up and don't go and stay right here with his daughter, his wife, and his daughter. And of course he works over in Ohio. So he sold me on the idea, and I did it. Mm-hmm. Then I finally ended up over here at Westchester, Illinois, and I'm getting ahead of the story though. I decided I'd go to Chattanooga and Knoxville and then come back. Well, I got down there, I guess it's Charleston, this side of Louisville. I wanted to get some gas, and I went over to a filling station. It wasn't on the corner, it was on an alley. And anyway, it was a 4-lane road, a street, and I got across there, and I got in, and then that way I had to go. And some fella, I stuck out that far out, some fella come along and hit me and knocked the back end of the car. Didn't hurt the mechanical end of it. And I was able to drive it home. And I had it since. And the grandson-in-law, drove it out here to John...
Body shop?
Huh?
Body shop?
No. John Zimmerman farm, and had it out there, and it was there until day before yesterday when he drove it in. Now he drove it in because he knew I didn't have much longer on the license, and so this morning I was unloading that thing, getting everything out of it, and now tomorrow I'm going to take it down to the Ford, and I'm going to tell them, now here it is. Now you allow me whatever you will on another car. But if I don't buy the other car, then you just owned it. Mm-hmm. Well, he could get out of it because the engine's all right. The mechanical end of it is all right. And there's a good battery, there's good tires, all that is right there. So he wouldn't lose it. If he allowed me $100, for instance, on another car, they wouldn't lose anything.
Yeah. How
Huh?
about your trip to California?
Well, then I drove up there to Chicago in November, unloaded everything I had, and they sent me a check, and that gave me some money to go with this trip out to California. So the grandson-in-law, he made arrangements for me to go out on the American from Detroit, and he drove me up there. Now, I thought maybe he did die. I never asked him. I just imagined if he drove me up there, then he could go down in Ohio there and with his work. So then I went straight out to Los Angeles on that American. Then coming back, I decided I would go to Lincoln, Nebraska, where I had a nephew. And so I took a United, and they took me over to, I can't think now.
You got to see your nephew in Lincoln? Huh? Did you get to see your nephew in Lincoln?
Oh, yeah. Then I went to Lincoln. I stayed there 2 days and a half. Mm-hmm. Then I got back here on the 23rd of March. So here I am.
I think that's remarkable. Well, do you have any more comments or anything? Anything else you'd like to say before we finish this tape?
On what, you mean?
On anything. Oh, message for...
Well, I tell you, I had a nice visit out there, and they told me, maybe I've told you this, they told me that the first 2 weeks I'm a guest. Then they said that's the time while you're a part of the family, and that means you got to help on some of the work. Well, the work didn't mean a damn thing. I mean, like dishes, putting them in there to wash them and taking them out and stacking them up. Well, daughter didn't like that working, so I did that. That is my work. The rest of the time I read, and there's one thing I can't understand. I get up after sleeping 9 hours and go to read the paper, and it's only a few minutes until I'm sleepy, and I go to sleep. The doggone paper will drop out of my hand. I almost can't understand that thing, but it does it. Then that'll mean I'll sleep about half to 3/4 of an hour. Then I'll wake up and I'll start the reading, and then it's all over. You don't do that anymore. Now, I used to be bothered when I was traveling. I get sleepy. But I'd fight it until I could get to a, what do you call it?
Motel or
Whatever.
rest park or...
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, till I get any place. And if I couldn't do anything else, I'd just pull off the side of the road, and 15 minutes would do it. I'd wake up in 15 minutes and it was all over.
I think that's great. Well, you know that you're the oldest...
Huh?
You are the oldest man that I have interviewed on this program.
That's right.
And your mind, I think, is keen, and you're certainly, as I look at you this afternoon, you're in tremendous physical condition. And I'm so happy that I've had this chance to interview you and talk to you because...
I'm glad you did, too, if that's what you wanted.
Yeah, because here, almost 50 years difference in our age. There's almost 50 years difference.
50 in the age, huh?
Yeah, there's almost between you and me.
I see.
However, there's a chain that runs through, and that you were in the first Rotary Club, and here today I'm in the Rotary Club, and you served on the school board, and here 50 years later I'm serving on the school board.
Are you? Are you on there now?
Yeah.
And now what's the man who is the president of Rotary now?
The man that's president of Rotary is Dr. Kent.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was the school board.
Right. He was the superintendent.
Why did he resign or something?
Well, I guess he thought that the pressures of being the superintendent would be less if he would get out and be... He's just a teacher now. He just decided to become...
Oh, he teaches?
Yes.
Oh, he didn't want the...
That's right.
Too
much heat.
Well,
yeah.
Say, maybe he's wiser.
Yeah. Maybe he'll live as long as you do.
You can't tell.
Yeah. Take all the pressure.
Well, I think a lot of it is up to the person.
Yes.
I mean, if they observe certain habits, don't be excessive in any of these things, and you observe your eating habits. And, for instance, now, I don't eat white sugar, and I don't eat white bread, and things of that kind. And what's the use? Because this prevention tells you it's just a waste of time. Or your Kellogg's, any of that stuff. Because when they process it, they take all the vitamins. Now then, vitamins is what you have to have. You can't putting that stuff in your stomach. You got to have the vitamins. And right away, right now, according to the prevention, whatever that agency is there in Washington, they're going to revise these things that you take in the way of vitamin C, for an example. And they're going to fix the damn thing some way so that, I forget how it is. In other words, no, I don't know how, I can't tell you. Anyway, the doctors apparently have found out that vitamin C is a hell of a good thing that they have taken, and they want to fix it so you have to put that vitamin C under prescription, you see? Well, now then, I've been taking vitamin C for years. I also take dolomite, and then I also take Brewer's Yeast. Those three things I've taken for years.
When did you decide that you were going to change your lifestyle and eat these different foods and do these exercises? How old were you?
That's been, I expect, anyway, 25 years ago.
25.
Yeah.
Do you think it's added to your life?
Yes. For instance, you eat white bread. Well, what happens? You just put them down in your stomach there. You get no vitamins, you see. They say it's enriched. Well, just how it's enriched, I never heard. That's what they say. So, you can buy whole wheat bread. I buy whole wheat bread down here at the grocery store. You can buy some of it's called that, but it isn't. They still made part of it with the white flour. And not like, trying to think what the name of it. Pepperidge Farm.
Mm-hmm.
Now they make one that's whole wheat, nothing but the whole wheat in it. And but there's a number of these big. They make what they call wheat, but they're not all together. But they're near enough that it's better to eat white bread. Now, what else do you say?
Well, I'm just going to ask you one last question.
All right.
Say that there's a young man or a young lady 50 years from now reading or listening to this tape. What advice would you have for somebody 50 years from now?
What do you mean advice?
Any kind of advice or anything that you might say that would be relevant 50 years from now?
Well, I would say don't be excessive in anything, any of your habits.
Mm-hmm.
Excessive. I don't say, I'm not going to tell you not to do this or not to do that. If I was going to tell you something not to do, I'd say let the damn tobacco go.
Yeah.
See?
Well, I think that's real good. Just moderation then.
Well, yeah, because, well, now my granddaughter, I don't know whether she smokes 2 packs a day or whether it's 1 pack or whatever it is. I'm all the time have to take the damn thing and keep it out of the way because I don't like it. See it, look at it. But there are a lot of things that's up to you
That's true.
to prolong your life. Exercise is a wonderful thing, though. That's the, because there are more people, elderly people, killed by rocking chair than any other way.
Uh-huh.
They quit their work, sit down in that chair, and they're done.
Sure.
You see down Florida, I just filled one of them down there.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
I used to go down into the city of Florida. I lived out about 4 miles out.
St. Petersburg?
Yeah. I used to go down there and they'd be sitting on these green
Benches?
benches just waiting to die. They didn't know what to do with themselves. So that they make you sick to look at them.
Yeah. Well, thanks again, Howdy. I think this has been a great afternoon.
Well, all right.
George Dingledight.
I say.